Been a while. It's been a while. The magical cue. But before I begin, since there's no audience yet, you're going to give me 2-3 minutes so we can discover together. I think I'm going to just go back and repeat. So if you've been here before, you already know what I'm going to say, what I do, where I get my information from. Just give me a minute. I'm going to play some paperwork. I get excited. You know, I see something and I can't actually make it out. I can't actually explain it. So what I believe and what I'm actually doing is I'm just sharing bits and pieces of information with whoever can pick up and say, yes, I see, I understand what you're saying. What can we do with it? Is it a magnet? The V. Is it an H? Is it an I? Is it a number? What is it? Where does it come from? How is it created? Give me a minute. Just put it up a little like that. We're just going to leave it like that for a minute. Put on a little music for a couple of minutes. See if we can get that music on here. Just give it a little bit of music. It'll be okay. Oh, the cat, eh? The cat in the hat. Wow, it's snowing out. It's like we have a snowstorm. You know, it's really, really snowing outside. Snow is falling down. So what I'm going to begin with is certain number situations, okay? And the situation is right here. We're just going to use 6, 7, 8, 9. The total of all these numbers is going to be 30. That's the total of the numbers. So we're going to pick any one at random. 7, 9, 6, 8 divided by 3 equals to 2658. 7, what did I say? 7968 divided by 3 equals 2656. 7698. I think, is that what I used? Times 3. 7968. 7968. So that equation is here. Is it on purpose that none of these will be prime? Let's try this one. 7689 divided by 3 equals, hold on a second, times 3 equals to 7689 divided by 3, 2563. And the reason for this is because the total is 30, so therefore it's going to be divisible by 3. Now, if we went 6879 divided by 4 is not divisible. 6, 7, 8, 9 divided by 3 is divisible. 6, 7, 8, 9 divided by 6 will not be divisible. 6, 7, 8, 9 divided by 9 is not divisible, but it's divisible by 3 in all of these. So we're going to choose any 4 random numbers. 5, 6, 8, 9. So if you take 5, 6, 8, 9 and you divide it by 3, it's not divisible. 5, 6, 8, 9, 17, and 11 is 28. So we have to have a number that's divisible by this, and that would be 7. 4 by 7 is 28. So we're going to take 5, 6, 8, 9 divided by 7 equals to 812, 714, 28. So I think this number 1728 is not a divisible number. So what if we had a 4, 7, 8, 9, 17, and 11. This is another 28. So we have 4, 7, 8, 9 divided by 7 equals 2. No. I was going to continue on. I'm 20 minutes late with the video. Not happy with the beginning right now. I really don't want to stick around in a video where no one has shown up. I'm just going to do, I think I'm just going to do, what's it called? So anyways, we worked out that the number 30 works out. 4, 7, 8, 9, 4, 7, 8, 9 is not divisible by 3. It's not divisible by 5. It's not divisible by 7 or 9. So the number 28, 2 plus 8 equals to 1, therefore not divisible. So if we take in another set of 4 numbers, let's say 9, 8, 2, 1, and that'll be 20, right here. 9821, and that'll be equal to 17 equals to 20. So will that be divisible by anything? 2 plus 0. See, this one equals to 1. This one over here, let's put it 20, is equal to 2. So let's see if that's only divisible by what? So we have 9821 divisible by 7 equals to 1403. So we know this one is divisible by 7. Is it divisible by 3? 9821 divided by 3. It's not. Is it divisible by 5? No. Is it divisible by 9? 9821 divided by 9 equals 2. No, it is not. So it's only divisible by 7 and itself. So there's a story being told by this. What can be and can't be done is the story inside. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the question is. Okay. I do know this creates a 1010. I do know where these numbers come from. This will be 11 and 18. This will be K and R. Bring these letters together from Hiab. Why will it do that? The reason it's going to do that, where am I? R and K. Just give me a second. Yes. Because the math, 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals to 2 equals to 1. So we have 2 and 1. And to create this, it is 1 times 8, 1 plus 8 to create 8 and 9 in this order. Now we can go 19 and 28, which is 10, 10. This is a perfect order. This is where the 19 or 91 spirit in the DC house running to the 28th of the moon cycle. And if you look at Rotas Sator, right, this, all my information you can find usually somewhere because it's public information. And by the way, the cross, this is what the base value, okay, of Rotas tenet, right in the center. And then the open values that are here, there's 4 open values over here. So if we're encompassed by Rotas Sator, then our actual numeric value here, okay, is going to be, and here, it's going to be 9, 7, 7, 9. That is the birth gate. Where do I get this information from? According to these words, the word is ARPO. The letters will be R, E, P, R, E, P, E, N, E, and P, E, R. Per representation. So when you do this, it's going to be 555. When you do this, it's going to be 555. When you do this, it's going to be 77 and 99. 77 can represent matter, can represent Christ, 99 can represent 13. And Jupiter. Now, these are just a simple base. And what I say is a simple base is that the numeric value for the word matter equals 77. The numeric value for the word Jupiter equals to 99. Now, we know that when I connect them this way, I also know that it is going to be the 45 and 135 angle to the core. That's what's missing. This 45 area here, this 45 area here, right? There's going to be one over here. And if you look at the Star of David, you're going to have the same thing. If you look at the Budweiser beer, you'll have the same thing. It's on an angle. What is above it is below it got flipped over into this side. Not only does your mouse, when you're moving pictures up and down, when you're dragging it, but your eye sees upside down as well. And this reflection is a la famous à la lune. Yes, the back side, when you turn around and bend over, it's the moon. So the expression of bending over, showing me the moon, okay, the moon and the sun, all these sexual expressions, they go and they get categorized, okay, based on the usage, because that is the world we're living. That's what we go through, you know? What does that represent? Everybody says up yours. Well, now how should I write that? Is it URS like in Uranus? Now, anus or for ass. So what would they be talking about? Uranus. I'm going to take a little break. I hope I can get back onto the saddle again and get into the flow. The information is everywhere. In fact, I've got something that's like, for me, I just love it. I just love it. It's like one of my favorite songs, because on August 8th of 2008, I got caught. I got a ticket for 1440, sitting on a park bench with a brown paper bag, and inside the bag was an orange juice, sealed, never opened. They thought I was going to open it and mix it with a little spirit. But I went to the park to get a little bit of spirit, meditate, just listen to a friend of mine talk. You know, I talk a lot, but I love to listen to people speak. It's tiring to think. Sometimes it's not easy to listen. I've had a lot walk away from me. They don't want to listen. So I come out here, and for wherever it is, I share the information of, I add on my 2 cents. Can I make sense of the matter? Can I make a cent of the matter? Can I make sense of the matter? More than 1 cent? It's like the matter is 1 cent, but I'm going to make 2 cents out of it. So all these expressions and how they can be used and what story do they tell? The truth is from the story they can tell. You heard the words I speak. I didn't speak a lie. I didn't not tell the truth. But yet you can question everything that I am saying. Am I selling you on a concept? What does it mean to sell? I am expressing the way I do it. Can it be accepted by others? This concept. The Edna machine, because it was a machine and it didn't talk or say anything, did it tell the truth? Who creates the machines? Can it tell the truth? I cannot change what I cannot change. And if I forget, at that moment, I didn't remember. I will suck it up and live on to the next moment and not worry my brains. And now I'm looking at this ticket, and it's 312 ABC or B or CAB. Call me a cab. 813 into the heaven spirit of creation of Nibiru. Number 73. What is 37? It's the cube. Every time I get to a number that includes a 0 into it, I automatically turn that 0 into a 6. Automatic. All zeros are sixes. We're talking not what's outside, but what's inside. It's surrounded like a donut. It's got the hole, and there's the donut with no hole. You have Earth, and you have Mars. You have a point, you have a single line, and you have two lines, Earth and Mars. In fact, when I go to the store, they want to know if I have my Mars card, but they're using what I call the singular code that they don't even know. Give me a minute. That was amazing. That was amazing. You don't have to go anywhere. Don't get excited. Don't get excited. Don't get excited. Here it is. That was amazing. Amazing. Yes, and I forgot what the code was, what I was talking about. Oh my God. I don't believe it. I'm going to have to go back and check a video out and see what I was doing. Give me a minute. Can it be accepted by... I cannot change what I cannot change. And if I forget at that moment, CAB, call me a cab. 8, we're talking not what's outside, Mars. You have a point, you have a system. Okay. Okay. Mars bar. Eventually they made Mars into 2 pieces. How many pieces can we get? And who makes Mars bars? Who makes them? So now I can go online and look for the information, or I'm just working on the surface right now. The reason Mars is the points card is because, well, first of all, you have to understand there's a couple of things, and I'm going to have to design them for you. Now, don't forget that there could be many things. I'm going to try and hopefully I can remember this. Is that if you're going to build something, the beginning of building something is the need. The need can come from somewhere else, or let's say you want to eat food and you don't want to use your hands. You want to use a stick. And now you want a stick with more points on it. Now you call it a fork. So now it's got so you created it. But you know what? I created it in here first. So this is what I do. I take every single word. Before I break it down the letter and find out how they created the letter, I'm just going to use, I went to school, I learned the alphabet. So the word Mars, M-A-R-S. And right away, if I had to go back a couple of thousand years and thought of the Romans, the first thing I would think of is 1,000, because M is 1,000. Now, if I was doing art and I was a child and I was doing it on the lined paper when I was younger and I started drawing the M on lined paper, I would maybe draw my M like that. So is that the M? Is that the M? It looks like it's being supported by 2 sticks. And, sometimes they show letters like this, right? So right away, I'm thinking it's half the letter I. But when you look at this one, if it was Roman numerals, it would be 4. And the 4th letter is D, and D in Roman numerals is worth 500. So with inside of 1,000, we already see 500. And over here, V1, okay, equals to 6. 6 is F. Well, there's no Roman numeral for this one, except in the family X is the 24th letter. 2 plus 4 equals to 6. So I show you what I do when I just find a word. There's more inside the word, in the guts of the word. So the word Mars is number 51. But it's broken apart. I like to break it into just two pieces, besides the first letter being M. And if you're 13, you can have a bar mitzvah. And of course, they're following the moons. So there's 169 moons passing in 13 years. So that means you're starting the 170th moon, which is Quo. Where do I get that from? Because 17, I'm just going to use these two, 17. And right away I get the letter Q, which is the reverse of the letter J. So all I did is started with the word Mars. And what happened, why did I pick on number 13 and not the rest? Is because if you're looking at games, and I'm only using one game in specific right now, which is the roulette, where the number 13 is black. But there's two 13s, depending on which way you want to look at it. We can also look at this 13 or 31 over here. Now, the numeric value for black is number 29, which can be created by and for that reason, I have the IT. I like to always call it the IT system from the fox passing the sun. And whoop, I misspelled that. One of the reasons I say that is because the numeric value to the word sun is 54 and fox is 45. To bring this to a 10-10 world, or 11, 10-10 is 11, right? You have 55 and 55, okay? But in this world, pass equals to 55 and the total is 100, or C. But you can probably go C19 if you want. 1 plus 9 equals to 10. Because when you get to C, how can I explain this? How can I explain why when you get to C, why 19? The reduction of C brings on two numbers. Now, there's many ways to do this, and I don't have a set rule or an equation for it, right? But it goes from red over to black. I connected the two worlds together, therefore there are two of them. So I create 2. 1 plus 9 equals to 1, and the entirety equals to 1. Anyways, let me just finish with why Mars is the points card. First of all, the word point is 74. Energy is 74. Jesus, whoa, I got a lot of US's in there. Jesus is 74. Cross is 74. And so ironic that time is 47. So the mathematics are all going to turn out the same. Now, why do we have Mars point? Because the numeric value for Mars is 51. And I'm going to just go like that. But if I had to create a design, right, the one line would split everything. Now, if I was creating what I call the Earth line and the Mars dot. And the reason for that is because I can put, let me see if I can get it. Whoop, I just spilt water all over the place, but that's okay. I can put a dot right here in between the lines. Am I too much light? Not enough light? How should this go, this light? Let me see. Okay, something like that. So you see, I can put that dot between the four areas, but I can't put a dot here. See, but with this one, I can put a dot on each corner. So this one's going to be a 1 dot and a 4 dot, and that's the beginning of the division of area space. 1 line and 2 lines, because Earth is numeric value 52, or V11. So we're talking about the spirit, okay, of 76. you're talking about V1 plus V11. That would be Earth and Mars. So we're going to come back over here. What happens to Earth when I have to go design the window for Earth? I need to design it like this, because Earth has 2 lines for 52 and Mars only has 1. So Mars, you can create the singular dot. Now, when they say it's the points card, meaning more points, can we talk about this or the singular point? So when I look at Mars both ways, I now say Mars is the window. Now, I don't know if it's Windows 10, but I do know A, B, C, D for 4 squares equals to J. J is the 10th letter in the alphabet, reversed to Q. Mars gate to 10. What it took to come here is what we begin with, 10. And the one spirit, 11. Now, when it comes to how does Mars come into the earthly planet, Mars comes and must drag itself on this angle for the singular line. Now, don't forget, this is a single formation. This is only one, skeleton-like. You know, you might get, okay, we're going to build a bunch of cars, right? We're going to build cars. You have to have a model in order to build it, right? You want to sell clothes, so you get a model to sell the clothes. You get a model for the wigs. You get, so everything is, not only that, there's names for all of these things. It's on a trial basis. It's anyways, all these words that go along, they're just telling a greater story, because that's how the story came to be. That's the creation of the sentence, of the paragraph, of the chapter. Everything that goes along with that, life was created in the same pattern, because did words come first or did action come first? Words before action? Put your money where your mouth is. All these expressions come from the past, right through the vibration, through the sounds, through our vision, through our feel, through our touch. What am I doing? Can't move over the air, can I? No, but I can make the movement. This area space. Have you ever been in an airplane? Have you ever dove out for skydiving? How do birds fly? Because it's not empty. They're flying in the aether. They're not flying in the nowhere. It's not a void. I need some water. Oh. Cats. Cats, hats, bats, and rats. Do they rhyme for a reason? I don't know. Maybe. They work for me, because I just know that if you're going to be writing something down about the cat, right? I mean, it's pretty simple to just write cat, right? But I was taught to do that. So if I do that, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. Now, I know very often in communication that these two come together. Not only that, I also know that they created a game, and I'm going to have to look up how to spell it. Okay, I'm not sure if you know yourself, because I haven't mentioned it. The game is called Baccarat. Baccarat. I like the way it says carrot inside of it, almost like diamond. So here I'm going to spell it like that, with the last letters for rat. And I always look at this as Saturn. Every time there's the cat. Where's the cat? There you are. There you are. Eh? There you are. Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go? I have a box right there for you. You can go right in. Go in. It's okay. You can go in. Go. Oh, go. Yes. You can stay so close to me. What a nice, hey, you got a nice home, eh? I'm going to sleep there with you tonight. I'm going to come there and sleep with you. Is that okay? Will you leave me some room? How long will you stay in that box before you jump out again? Communication angle of transmission. Cat. Cat licks herself. This is what my belief is. When the cat licks herself, she buries her treasures, not like a dog, right? Dog leaves it in the high grass. Cat buries it in the sand. Communication angle of transmission. The numeric value is 24 for cat. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 6 and 8. There's a game called Craps where they show the mechanism, what happens with these dice. And the 3 and 3 will create 6. Yeah, I'm not in any order. I'll go back to where I was with the Mars points card. But I will tell you, if Mars is like that and Earth is like that, well, we're going to have that. So all of these must have come around. Imagine if we had 4 of these, right? Imagine if I had 4 of these all on top of each other like that. I'd have one singular Earth right over here, combining all 3 of the windows of Mars. I'd have one here, and then I would be creating one here, and then I'd be creating one here, and then I'd be creating one here. And I would have my 4 Earths and my 4 Mars, everything taking place in the window. Like I said, A, B, C, D, Mars window equals to 10. E, F equals to 11. Windows 10, Windows 11. So where was I with this? I was talking about, I just want to finish with this. So the only way for the Mars single line to come into here is one single line can go this way. So Mars cuts through Earth on a 45-degree angle, creating that Budweiser tie, slicing and having now one side and the other. There's other designs that tell the story a little bit different. The total, before I get on to this, of Earth and Mars, 52 and 51 equals to 103, which is also the word for September. It's also the word for Mercury. And it leaves the initials. I'm not sure if you've ever seen them before. JC, Jesus Christ. The total is 151, all representing the Mars student at the gate. The spirit of 76, 7 come 11, and 1v1, or the same thing we have over here, which is also valued as M1000 in Roman numerals. So yes, we have 103, we have 10.3, which is JC. We can do the mathematics, but then we have to go back and say 13 comes together as the bar mitzvah, and the math equals to 3, equals to 4, and this is where DC comes in. So we live in the house of DC. How is this DC? Because 2 dice. When we have 4, and we have, do we have 4 and 2? Where's 4 and 2? When we have 4 and 2, 6, right? Also noted, we have 5 and 3, 8. So we have 4 and 2, 6. We have 5 and 3, 8. We have our 77 coming together in the cube. Now, when we have this scenario, what's happening with our 2 and 4 is I have to take over and see if there's anywhere, any formation somewhere. What happened to my cube? I think I left my cube on the table. Wow, it's really snowing out, eh? The cube. There are 9. There's 9. Oh my God, there's 9. What about 12? What about 8? Depends how you count them. There's 4 in the corners. Every single one. We're not going to get into that right now. I don't want to skip over that. Ask me later. So then for that reason, this solid, I'm not going to use as a single one, but I'm going to call this, break these dots up and put a dot everywhere. There's going to be 4 empty spaces on here, and it's going to be the inside spaces that are the void. Just let's say Mona Lisa. Na-sa, the last 2 letters of each one, Mona Lisa. So when you look at this, always think 9. Always think 9, because that is what it is. It's 9, and it's not 12. And why do I say 12? Because when you look at your telephone and your calculator, there's 3, 6, 9, 12 areas. Even if the images or logos, the areas are still there. And in the roulette wheel, it's set up in 3 per row, 4 rows, and that's a set of number, 12, 12, 12, where the head and the tail come together. When you have a shoelace, you don't leave out the other end. The ends are the same, not in all instances. See, one is a head and a tail here, but in the shoelace, they're both the tails. They come together at the end, and you tie them up, and you lose an area of space. So what do you have left over? What do you take? 1.5 of the string, 1.5 of the string. You tie it up. So it's things that we do. That's not a concrete answer. That's the possibility that works out in understanding the numbers. Even with the shoelace, the NFL versus the CFL, the size of the field, okay, is how, whether you're working with Mars or you're working with Earth. When you split up the field at 50, it's a divided line at the 50. If you split up the same field in the CFL at 55 and you want to split it at the 50, you'll end up with 2 lines leaving 10 yards in between. So now you're talking about the 2 split, you're talking about Earth, CFL, or you're talking about the 1 split, the NFL, you're talking about Mars, right? So it seems like everything's going back to Mars. Everything's going back to Mars. So it's like we don't have to go there. We're already there physically, but mentally we have to understand and ask one of the questions. So we're going to go off onto, we have to think on our own. Can a bird fly? And if it's flying, what is it using to fly? What's this? That's the aether. And if it can be used to fly, and the vibration keeps it in the air through the flap of its wings, that you can hear my voice going over to the microphone, going through the IT system over to your speaker, that you can hear me right now. That means something exists and it is not empty. And if you're throwing your vibration and somebody created this fantastic planet, that everything you say and do is into the energy. And what is happening on this planet, I'm not actually sure, but fate must fall in consequence with the beauty of creation, through the obligations and understanding of how we can defeat nature. We have defeated nature by living with it, amongst it. And one thing I do believe, that if the findings of everything that, of course, are hypothetical, because I can't prove it, that we come from it, but I can prove that I can tell her, but look, the bird is flying. Oh my God, the plane, it can take off. It didn't take off anything. What did it take off? It replaced the area space, okay, of itself through the ether, and able to go and support itself in the sky. Knowing the truth of the word. This is not a life truth. This is the actual truth of words that were created. Who created the words? We created the words. We actually created, through all our professional ways of speaking. We even have ways of speaking that when you walk into a courtroom, okay, depending on what your job, you could keep a secret. But when you walk into a courtroom, you are now a civilian. And if you're not a civilian and you work for a company of any sort, if the company has broken the law, it is a civilian that has broken the law. What is a secret? A secret is something personal that has never been divulged before, that's still inside here, that's still private before it ever made its way out of your mouth or your actions. That's private. So when you go into the army, you know, the army stripes, the hexagon, you go into the army, everything that is private is general, and everything that is general is mostly private, unless if it's general to the corporal. Now you become just like the private general, because it's not general. The corporal, the corporation, they have to know because they push everybody out of the way. We're going to build streets. Anyways, don't want to get into that. So now we're going to get back to Earth and Mars. So if we put Earth and Mars together, the line, the dot and the line, we're going to put it together like that. Well, actually, I think we have to put together like that. Or we put it together like that, like the chalice. Which is actually basically the cube, right? Just like that. But anyways, irregardless, this can now be split here through Mars and Earth. And I'm in this, and let me just see something. I think we'll do this over here. So when you see these cubes over here, see the center cubes over here, here's your hexagon, Earth and Mars, right? And I have to understand and give it reason what I did here. Now, either I use this here in the center, it gets ignited. Okay, I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because it's part of the game, the singular dot. You notice there are no other singular dots that this can happen to. And the reason for that is these two numbers over here, okay, are 16 and 19. The number here and the number here are 17 and 20. This is the division of 36 numbers. This area over here, see the X that comes in over here? In fact, Pharaoh, okay, used to have some designs that connected these together. This is a design by obligation. You can see when we go down over here, okay, we have the here hexagon. Here we have a hexagon. I can create another one over here. Do you see this piece over here? In fact, this piece over here, if you take a look at the deck of cards and look at the ace, many of the cards will have this shape that's cut out of it. But that's, anyways, that's really up to you. The other thing that shows up is if you take a look here, when the lines crisscross, you can see it cut out 80. I'm not perfect in my artwork. Okay, so you can see 80 over here, 80 over here. In some of them, you can see 88. Here's 80 over here. Here is 88, the window, 88. And that's an obligation design. That design, just give me a second. That design actually comes from the roulette. I mean, the numbers in roulette. I'm not sure if I have that that piece from roulette. No, I don't. But that comes from roulette. I have my carpet down tonight, but that's one of the sets of numbers. Each row is 36. The fourth row is 1440, 1440 minutes in a day. When you have 24 rows, okay, that create the mirror, don't forget, if you have two on the outside, the only time Earth will begin, where does Earth begin? Does it begin right over here? See that shape that brings together? That's when the mirror begins. You see these two? Flips over, mirror of mirror. but the area space in the center is not mirrored until we get to here. And this area space is not mirrored until we get to here. And only the continuous on this side. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6. 4 by 36 is 144 for the 14 minutes, for 1440 minutes in a day. We do that 6 times, giving us 8640, okay? And that's how many seconds there are in a day, 86,400, also the diameter of the sun, also 432 halfway to our vibration. It also gives numeric value, 24 to the 24 hours we have in the day. Now what we have to do is, hold on, let me think of the equation, is multiply it by 3. So we have 72. So that makes up the complete equation for the 1 Mayan cycle. And that equation, if I can remember correctly, went like this. We need 6 areas, okay, for the mirror. Now we need 4 areas to create the 1440 minutes in a day. Now we have to multiply that by 6 days for the 86,400, whichever way you want to go, for the seconds in a day. It also works out into minutes and hours, but I'm using it on the long count. To where I multiply it by 3, okay, and it equals to 25,920. This is the long Mayan cycle. Now I just want to see, I got, right, 4 times 36, and then 4 equals 1440, and then 6 times 1440 equals 8640, and that is 6 by 24 times 36. 24 times 36 equals to 8640. So I got the answer. I got the answer right over here, 864. And we have 864, half of that, right? We split it into 2 is 432. That's our vibration. There's more to this. I'm not going to get into that part now. We spoke about this Earth Mars. Okay, yes, we did. The house of DC, which is also the core of these numbers, the core of these numbers. The center is 3.5. The house of DC is 3 and 4, 4 and 3, whichever way you want. The reason for that, 7 are the opposite sides. That means 3.5 to the dead center. Remember, dead center. And what was 3.4? Yes, the what was 3.4? 3.4 is on the outside. 3 and 4 is the dividing gate. And the reason it's the dividing gate because everything is 7s, and 1 and 6 will be 7, and the interior will be the 3 and 4, equaling to 7. They'll just flip over to themselves, just like the 6 and 1 will flip over to a 6 and 1. So we did this, and then we multiplied it by 3 times 8640 equal 25,920 to long Mayan count, 5 and 2, 7, 920 Earth diameter, which equals to now what is 72 times 36 equals 25,920, the same exact number. So now we have 72. So now we have what is 3 days. So what would it be to have the 3-day, 1-day, 3-day cycle giving us the 7 days a week? What would be happening in that 1 day? You would have a 4 by 36, which is happening into a 1 day, showing me that if it was looking like this for 1440, actually, because that's what it should be. Okay, now we know there are 4 parts broken up into a day. So there's 4 days inside 1 day. So that means the total of this first cycle must be multiplied by 4, equaling to what is 12 days inside of 1 day, because of what is 360. And if 360 is noted to be a day, then that's how many days we have inside of 3 days. Now, I'm quite sure there's more equations that I can work out with this. just what is ironic is that the word 1 and 6, this equals to 3 and 4, or 34, and this equals to 52, and it's created from this 777. Within the gate, we have QS coming together, which is JH. Jack of Hearts, Queen of Spades. I'm just thinking. The reason for this is because of the, whoop. This is a Jack. Right. 27. I don't know what I was looking at. And this is also 27. The Beta Gate, number 27 is right here. This is 1781. Well, actually, sorry, 1782. And also a part of Rotas Sator. Why? Because 2 and 7 come together and 1 and 8 come together. So that's really, there's no order with this. If you want to go, we can go 1, 2, 7, and 8 was what's going to create 99. 99 Jupiter, 99 Jupiter TV. That's what I think I'm going to call it. Reboot. Not only that, but the word Rubik's, and I'm not going to do it now, but when you create like that, what happens is, I mean, I've done this before, but it ends up saying 10 TV. I don't know what the artwork is right now. So let me get a drink of water here. If you want to ask me any questions, let's see what I can answer, because I'm only reading from the script, and the script is basic, everyday knowledge that everybody has if they just ask that question. The answers are in the science. You have to learn the science. Guess what? We're being taught a science. I'm learning a science. I taught myself a science. This is coming to my 19th year, starting with, I have no idea. I don't know why I'm doing it, but it was very interesting. First of all, it was just like, hey, I know the position of the letters in the alphabet. Oh, big deal. I don't know, but for me, it was funny. But I went to do an IQ test for my driver's license not too long ago, and those were the questions. Letter A, what letter in the alphabet was it? Letter B, letter this, letter that. Back up, forward, numbers. That's all it was. So I didn't create any of this. I'm not the creator of any of these things, but whoever created it got it from a greater source, the teacher. The teacher sits on a throne, and you know that, right? We did that already. The teacher sits on a throne. And this is your creation. This is your division. I like to say it's Mars birth. Oh, over here for me, when these two come in, I just see this. I just see the division where Mars came in. And what this is telling me, it's more or less telling me this. It's showing me the pound key because of the artwork from here. Because I know with a point, I'm going to get my point here. In order to put these two together, I have to create a larger image. So in this one, it's going to be this. But for the two arms sticking out, it's going to be that. And that V is just over here. It's showing me my two designs together. And if you take a look back to, just give me a second here. If you take a look back to this, hold on a second, you can see there's an X over here. you can see what is the extremities. I like to say this is 1, 0, 1. But the reality is, okay, the reality of this is once I stroke a line inside of here, it becomes 1, 1 left, 1, 1 right. But anyways, let's go to the Y. So we have the X and the Y chromosome connected together by these two over here. Now, what happens in this area over here? It's a complete, what seems to be a mirror. But if it was a mirror, I used to call it the mirror, but it's not a mirror because here there's a leg missing. Although the numbers coming down are mirrored, meaning that here and here in these positions over here, right here and here, it's the same thing as here and here. Over here is number 9 and 12. 12, 1 and 2 is 3. 9 and 12. So when we come down to over here, we're going to have 27, 2 and 7 is 9, and 30, 0, 3. So these are mirrored. Here, it's a replica in the center. It's 2 reds, 2 blacks, 2 reds, 2 blacks, 2 reds, 2 blacks, 2 reds. Here, it's a voided space. Only created, this area is created by the separation of the dots. So should I have created and connected these two areas? Since the formation of this design is 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. I have done a design in where I went 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but I did not want to do it that way. I didn't want to do it that way. I just kept flip-flopping it. Now, if I did it that way, I would have to make 3 areas and then flip the next one. Because of formation that we were taught, some of our formation that we were taught was 3 years to a leap year, and 1 year is 1 year is the leap year, and then the 3 years to get to that leap year, and then 3 quarters is the same thing as the 1 quarter. The 1 quarter missing to the 3 quarters that are left. That's the quarters. If we were talking in thirds, well, we can talk in thirds if we're talking about the 3 years before we get to the leap year, because those are the years 1/3 each that go where the leap year is not counted in those 3, other than adding it on. So it's like almost saying, okay, I got 3 strikes, give me the next ball. And if you throw the next ball, you got a ball and you get to a base. So now I'm just jumping off onto another board. Hold on a second. Yes, there is a creator. Of course there is a creator, because if there was no creator, whatever I'm talking about, whatever you believe you see or hear right now, it's not because I did it. It's because another human had done it. But the other human had to think. And is it possible this or this or this? Were they created on purpose? With what thought? That they should all be the same. All telling similar stories, just a little bit more skeleton-like in their own way. Telling me that I have a flat surface. Telling me that it's cubic. Telling me that A and B creating C, where it becomes a mirror of A and B, that when the next row shows up, you're into your next Rubik's Cube. To where roulette goes in parts of 12. To where Earth and Mars, the 3rd and 4th planet, 3 times 4, 3 plus 4, is the same thing, is the same 12. And it creates the number 7 for 17, the gateway of what? The total is 19, AI. The letter S is the AI gateway, in which there's just so many stories. It just doesn't stop. I didn't do the word throne, but sitting on the throne, to get it out of the way, for me, it's T and H. In the word T, and H. So when you have the word T and H come together, it says teach. Wow. You have the word teach inside that word. And then throne, well, it becomes teacher, or the god of Ra. One god of Ra, one god born of Ra. And it doesn't begin until we come out of Mars. because the first time you will go with the gold, you will be first. And the abbreviation, you will be second. And you will get silver. Or you'll be third, you will be getting bronze. Bronze 80 from 38 gold and 85 silver. 4, 8, 2, 13, 11. When you bring the gold and the silver, you will have MK is the gold and the silver. Thousands and millions. So we get the word Ra because R is the 18th letter. And A, B, C, D, okay, totals 10. A, B, C, D totals 10. And when we say 17, 18, or 19 in French, we will mention 10, which each one of these numbers. These are our primary numbers that are set forth right now, because in the gateway is Mars, and the heavens is in the sun, and the birth is in the moon. And the reason I say this is not because I want to say it, is because it's telling me to say it, that within the fourth planet Mars, why fourth? Why is it Mars? Why is it teach? Why is it teacher? Because the beginning is when you come to fourth place, you are RU. You are runner up. Are you up at the plate? Are you up at bat? The beta house. Because when you come to fourth, it's the first time we mention TH. And TH is mentioned all the way to 20th. So from D all the way to T. Now, if you're going to climb the ladder, right, even when you speak on the internet, when you speak to the microphone, it doesn't know if you're saying this letter or this letter. But inside of Mars is creation. And the total adding up from 4 over to 20 equals to, if I believe, 114 KD. I don't know if it's Kraft dinner, but it's 11 and 4. 114. The total from 1 to 20 is ironic because that's the answer. Sorry, that's the answer, 210. It's also funny that 17 and 21, which is if you're playing blackjack, right? BJ, the blue balls, you have over here, you have Q and U. And in English, in French, or we put Q and U together anyways, equaling to 38, equaling to the gold. So where are we now? I need to take a little drink, a little thirsty. I like to wear my hats. I like to have my thoughts condensed within inside of me. I need the warmth. It keeps me focused. The reason for the hat, the reason for the beard, the reason for the hat is if we go too much outside of ourselves, how do we want to end, for me, and plus the aether that's so much closer hanging. The more you have hair, the more it hangs, although we lose our hair. Why do we lose our hair? What happened to our hair? It's so important. The cat, for me, the cat licks him, herself, and that's information they're getting. They're tired at the end of the day, and they know how to just let go. And you know what? I'll be serious all the time, but it's time for fun, and you have to break loose. And humanity has a hard time. We have a hard time breaking loose. I just want to show you one more piece before I take a 2-minute break, is that when I put a diamond around this, I can also put a square, right? I'm just looking at what kind of shapes. Well, this is not done right. It should look more like this and this. And what kind of shapes are coming. I should do it a little bit better. Just trying to see what kind of shapes that come out of this. Looks like the pitchfork. Neptune, yes. Let's not forget about Neptune. Neptune is a direct connection, okay, to 1776, or the spirit of 76, in which what creates the numeric value that'll put the numbers together for what our cycle is. And the reason for that is 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 equals 7 and 6. And the numeric, and 7 and 6 is 13. The female has the cycle according to the 28 days, the 28 days of the moon. Man has bar mitzvah, 13 by 13 moons equaling to 169. And the reason I'm saying it is because the word man, M13, A1, and N14, right? And by the way, Mars, MA, man, MA. When it gets to R's, it's the resident angel. When it gets to N, it's something to do with the sun and the birth in the sun and the DNA. So when you get to man, it equals to a total of 28. So the 28 cycle, to become a man, you got to be 13. But in actuality, you have to have finished 169 moons, which is the size of the Monopoly board. Because the Monopoly board in reality is 6, 1, and 6, and 6, 1, and 6. Because the corners are square and everything is rectangular. And the smallest size you can create on quadrille paper is 169 area spaces, to where you have one center space to 168 spaces around it, to the 168 hours there are in a 7-day week, all circulating around one spindle, or the station, or the pound in the center of Monopoly, where apparently the money goes for free parking and all the other elements of the game. I'm going to take that 2-minute break. Any questions? Don't hesitate. Don't be shy. What I'm doing is not for me. It's for us. We share, we pass it on. If we can just get anything out of it, that'll help us for whatever reason. So the greatest help I can give somebody, like a person like me, is all this for me. All these stories I'm telling you, take it however you want, but this is real. And this is real. Now, somebody had to do it. Somebody came up to make the story say what it says. Was it done on purpose? Is it on purpose that red and blue, when they're mixed up to a certain degree, that we get the color purple? Do we get the color purple? Yes or no? When we mix yellow and blue, do we get any shades of green? Maybe I'll add just a little bit of white. So if I'm adding colors, I'm adding numbers. I'm changing the numbers. I'm changing the construct of the numbers, because white is 65 and black is 29, and I got to be black and yellow. And they're numbers, and every number is a word. There's a lot of fonts for numbers, and there's a lot of fonts for letters. Now we just I got to get something to, let me take this water. I need to energize. Remind me what I'm talking about. You know, we have so much work to do. There's so much work to do. The script has been written, right? Has the script been written? Yes, the script is written. The script is written in stone, in the golden stone. And it is written in stone, the golden stone. Gold number 38, stone, ST. What is first? What is last? What is the rest? What is the best? We're in this game and it's just a test. Signal testing system. Signal, S&I, or why don't we just design it on square paper like 5 and 1? Like 5 and 1 for Mars, 3 by 17, 5 and 1, 10, 7, the gateway to the time heaven world. Because TH begins at 4th. And when you add 1 to 4, pending if you want to remove 1, we'll just go 2, 3, and 4, because that's what the telephone did. It started the letters on 2, 3, 4. So it started the letters on our vibration. which actually are dots and dashes connected together, creating the skeleton of what is the form called a letter. Just another geometric shape. Is it? Can we call it a geometric shape? What do we call letters? Now convert your knowledge into something humanity can benefit by. Some people drive the truck that deliver the lumber. Some people bang the nails putting the lumber together. Some people saw up the tree. Some people pick up the lumber to bring it to the manufacturer. There's not one that will do it all, but it is all that will work as one together. We must all find peace within ourselves and not let anybody take our pieces away. I write the song, I don't play the instrument. Very hot. Okay, I'm just going to get to a piece that I have not done yet. And I was talking about 2 and 4 and 6 and 8. And then I was showing you the singular dot to the 8 void. So the 1 dot to the 8 void, the 2 dot to the 7 void, the 3 dot to the 6 void, the 4 dot to the 5 void. Now we have the 5 dot to the 4 void. Now we have the 6 dot to the 3 void. And then the equation, okay, look at that. Look at that, right? It should have been 36, but now it's only 33. Command and creation of the Christ and the Son. The mathematics will create 5 and 6. It'll create 6 and 9. It'll create 3 and 2. The QB world. I take this for my. I like to look at it as a passageway. And don't forget, I'm designing this way. I should also be doing it this way, right? Like if I was doing it that way, then 9 would look like that, right? And then what would 6 look like? 6 would look like what would 6 look like? I'm just trying to would 6 look like that? I can't. I either can do it here or do it there. And 9, I can do it here and here. I have to follow the lines. You see, Moses, Jesus, and Noah. They had something in common. They, in their own mind, I don't even know how to spell this. Let me check this out. Architect?
Architectural Institute of Canada.
ARCHITECT.
Both aesthetic and technical, on built objects in our public and private landscapes.
You know, isn't that funny? The minute I get a little hook. So yeah, so if you want to talk about, hey, where did F come from? Like, oh, F, or you want if, but I'm not getting into that. So this was not proper. This was not the proper design. I think it had to be done. Well, it could be done that way but if I'm looking at it this way, right? How 8 connects them together. We're not going to work on that one. I want to work on this one, There we go. Here's 9 and here's 6. So this is your percentage sign. And in your percentage sign, if I make it a little bit bigger, you're going to notice we're going to have a center over here. So where 8 comes together, it's connecting the two worlds together. And at the same time, you can crank it, right? You ever see those robots, right, that put one arm down and one arm up? Every design is telling a different story. Let me see, did I get that down right? So that's your 6 and 9. And the question is, what am I going to do with this next? Because with this one, right, I'm pretty much, hold on a second. This is ugly. I can't see. This is ugly paper. I wish I had this book. In fact, you know what? I just came up with a great idea. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make my own books with the spirals because I like the spirals because I can't work with paper like this. I can't see. So anyways, we have the, let me see, did I get this right? So we have number 9 and we have number 6. Looks like the percentage sign. So we go over to the percentage sign and we say, oh, the percentage sign is over here. So on the right side is this, on the left side is this. If we looked at planets, we wouldn't be including this. But this one says it's the pound key. So is that including all 9 numbers? This is the star key. It can connect, if you take a look, it's 6. So which way is it 6? Is it 6 this way or 6 this way? What is the 7 including? We know in French, this little hat goes on the A and the E sometimes. So there's information here. So with this one, I just like to give it a little bit more form. And now we have 6 and 9 in formation. 54 and 15. 20 and 9. 6 and 5. F I T T E I F. I do not know what it does. 29 and 11, which is funny because it creates 11, 11. 9 and 2, 11, 1 and 1, 11. So create 18 and 11. This one would create 1 and 2. So this is C for creation. And this one is 9 and 2 for the birth. Where did I get this from? 8 and 1, 9, 1 and 1, 2. What did I do with this one? 1 times 1, 1 plus 1. Where did I get this one here? 9 times 2, 9 plus 2. So I created this equation. So anyways, this is my, what was this design again? Yes, the 6 and 9 design, which of course is created by the famous number 33. Famous number 33. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 equals 6 and 9. 6 times 9, 6 plus 9 equals 54 and 15. That's where this equation comes from. Now, it goes a little bit deeper than that because if we had 33, right? If we had 33, then we'd also have 44. So this equation would give me 16 and 8, which is 2/3 of what the answer is. And for me, this is 16 and 8 to what is night, 8, and to what is day, 16. This fashion of numbers is going to be 8 with 7. And did I get that right? 8 with 7 and 6. The mathematics, 8 with 7 and 6. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6. There's 16 hours into the day. That's 3 parts. So it's explaining that. Number 13 is explaining your moon. Because 13 and 31, how can I explain that? Man at the age of 13 becomes bar mitzvah, but the actual thing is it's complete. Moon's complete, and it's reflected in the game of Monopoly, where the game of Monopoly has one square like this with 168 that surround it. Remember earlier on in the video, we were talking about the seconds and the minutes right over here, and how we get our first cycle of 25,920 happens after a 3-day period. Where in the first day, we're going to spin the wheel 4 by 6 hours, equaling to the split up world. 4 by 6 equals to 24. 4 times 6, every 6 hours is 360 minutes. So therefore, the 360 minutes gives us our first rotation of 360, unless we want to go a little bit smaller and go into the seconds, to where 6 minutes is 360. It happens 10 times in an hour, so that's 3,600. Did I say that right? 6 minutes, 60 seconds equals 360, and it happens 10 times in an hour. And then you have to multiply that by 24, and the calculation would be 3,600 by 24. 36 by 24 equals to 86,400. But if you multiply it by 3, it equals to 25,920. So now I have, again, that 72, but how often does it happen? It happens in, is that the 3-day period again? If this was seconds, I'm trying to figure out how I got to that. We went with seconds. We got 360. We got 3,600. That would be 1 hour. So then this would be 1 hour. 1 hour. So we took this hour. Why did I multiply it by 24? I should have multiplied it by 6. Let me see this. 3,600 multiplied by, oh yes, by 4. 3,600 by 4. So let me do this. I want to figure this equation out in seconds. 6 times 60 equals 360. So this is 6 minutes. I want to see how small I can go. I know I broke away from the last equation. So that's 6 minutes. So this has to happen 6 times 10 in an hour equals to 60 minutes. So there has to be 10 times 360 equaling to 3,600 that happens in the first hour. So you're going to multiply that. So I'm just giving, let me think of that equation. Is it times 4 or times 6? You have to multiply it times 4. Times 4 equals to 1440. Whatever zeros, it doesn't matter. Then you have to multiply that. So if it's times 4, so that's 4 hours. And if you multiply this, you have to multiply it times 6. Equals to 8640. So that is 4 hours, so that's 24 hours. And now you have to multiply that by 3 to equal to the Mayan long count of 25,920, giving me one of the large cycles. So that would be times 3. So you come up to the same answer. Am I getting that right? Times 3 equals to 72 hours. I was trying to work it for the seconds, and I broke away from the seconds. I don't know why. Is it 72 hours? What if I eliminated this one over here and not multiply it by 10? I'm just going to see how small I can make this. So it'd be 6 minutes is 360 times 4. Okay, because you want the 1,440 minutes in a day. We just want that construct. Okay, gives me the 24 minutes. Okay, times 6, because we want to get the 8640, and it's also the sun, and 432, half of it is our vibration, so it's a split sun. So this is going to be 120, 144 over here, 144 minutes. And then you have to multiply times 3 to get 25,920 of the Mayan cycle. So you multiply it times 3, and you got 2, 12, 13, and 1, so you got the 432. You end up with the 432 vibration. or 432 minutes, which is 7 hours and 12 minutes. Did I get that right? 144 minutes, we have to multiply it by 3, gives me to that, which makes this over here. 7 hours, 12 minutes. 7, 1, 2. I have no idea, but it shows me a gate. 7 times 2, 14. 7 plus 2, 0, 9. The word is in. The word is begin. B, G, in. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 will equal to the E. Begin at the gate, and it is birth at the gate because it's the house of bait. If you can create a 5, you can also create a 9. These two are polarities. There's in between 6, 7, and 8. And in the deck of cards, they're all the same. And this is the jack. This is the king. Sorry. This is the king, and this is the queen. Why? Because of the eyes. The queen has all her eyes, 4 by 2. So we know it's the cat's queen. We know the king is 1 by 3. So now we know it's the man. And the the jack is 2 by 2. What is it? Sorry. 1 and 3, 2 by 4. Just let me rethink how I said this. I have to rethink why I said this. The queen has all her eyes. 4 cards. There are 2 eyes on every single one, equaling to 8. The king has 1 eye and 3 eyes. Sorry, 1 card with 1 eye, 3 cards with 2 eyes. So it's 6 and 1. This is 8 and 0. The jack has 2 cards of 2 eyes and 2 cards of 1 eye. So this would be 2 and 4. There's a couple of ways to look at this whole thing. So here it would be man on the king. This would be life ape on the jack, and bust, because those are certain words that go. And it's also the V that brings us into that E world. I got a lot of whoop. I don't know why my this is all from. I'm not sure who can see what's up on the screen now. It's all from YouTube. That's what happens when. Hey, what's happening, Kingsway? It was all mixed in between everything else. I mean, so anyways, we went 4, 3, 2, and that's our vibration to the single Mayan count. So we have that calculation in 7 hours and 12 minutes. So we can no longer, now I'm wondering if I made a mistake here, right? 6 minutes. Okay, we got 360. It has to happen. Let me do this with everybody. We have 6 minutes. Okay, it has to happen 4 times for the 1440 minutes in a day. That has to happen 6 times to equal to the 6 days of creation, or 8640. Don't count the 7th day. Okay, now we multiplied it by 3. I multiplied it by 3 to give the long count of the Mayan a 25,920, to where I multiply it by 3 to give me 432 vibration. The division between night and day of the one spirit. This is the divided house, and it's very easy to see because it's located on these cubes. Why don't we need 2? Because 2 is in every single one of these. 2 at the corners, 2 at the corners, 2 at the corners everywhere. 1, 4, 4, one spirit. 2, 4, 4 everywhere. 8 and 6 is the dividing blue world house. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. The divided house. And you know, when Highway 66 in America disappeared, right? Or actually they moved the route over. They moved the route over to Highway 80. And in between, 64 plays. Zion 0, Israel, the house of DC, created by 64. 6 by 4, 6 plus 4. 34, the house of DC. The blue house, the cold house. So the 432, so we have 7 hours, 12 minutes. Now what I want to do is I want to see what I can do with those 7 hours and 12 minutes. How can I get, okay, I'm going to have to multiply it by 5 because that'll give me 35 hours and 60 minutes, making it 36 hours. And if I did that in 36 hours, I would have 1 day, 0.5, and Mars is 1.5. When you get a blackjack, that's your payout. 3 to 2, 1.5 over what is 21. The legal drinking age. Mars, the cube. The stories are the truth. Donald's son, 2339, moonlit blood clot. No coincidence. You were so on point. I don't know. I'm just talking for the game. I'm just the narrator. Thank you. So now we multiply by this, I get a day and a half. So now I have to multiply it again times 5. So I need 7 hours and 12 minutes times 5. Let me 7 hours, 12 minutes times 5 equals 35 hours plus 60 minutes. H and M, 8. H and M, H8, M13, 21, 08 or 80, bronze, to give me 36 hours. Okay, now this is when I'm working in the seconds. I'm working with silver. Because the one spirit came into the heavens through the 7th gate. 2 and 1 comes in, so there's 7 empty spaces here. And then the 1 comes into the center, igniting Mona Lisa. The reason for that is because there's 4 of them. Now, when I turn it over, okay, there's going to be 4 of them. There's 6 sides of 4, but the cubes will repeat. These will repeat. You see, they're the same cube. So there's here and here, and here, and here, and then here, and here. So there's a total of 12 of them. The corners, there are 8, so it's 8 and 12. 2 times 6, 2 plus 6. Where the king, queen, purple Pegasus comes in. 6 times 2, 6 plus 2, 62, 26, 88. So we get the 36 hours, which is 1.5 days. So we multiplied this times 5, right? Which was actually the 432, sorry. So this is the 432. And I multiplied that by 5 to give me 2160. Now the diameter of the moon is 2160, which is the cubic time to the half-life. So now we have 1 day and a half. Now I have to do it again. I need a minimum of 3 days. So I'm going to multiply this by 2 to make it a complete 3 days. Here, you'll end up with 432. We're back to the moon now in our vibration, and we have 3 days. Or we have 72 hours. And we have completed everything, and we're back to our vibration. And now we know we passed through the moon. So what the final figure is over here is this into this, 72 hours. Now that we're at 72 hours, we're going to take this another step further. Okay, we want to complete the I want to complete now the 6 days of the week. So I'm going to go to 144 hours. So I'm going to take this and multiply this by 3. And that'll be 12,960. This will be 12,960. And I got this 72 hours times 3 is now, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on here. So this will become 3 times this. This will be 2160. So now this one moves into the moon diameter. Having these 72 hours, I'm just trying to figure it out. 72 hours. 72 hours. Just give me a second. I want to see if I got anything wrong here because I'm getting excited. By the way, this number over here, right? 12,960. I have to not rush it. This number over here times 2 equals to the Mayan cycle, back to the Mayan cycle again. So I'm moving time. I'm squaring off time, and we're running through the moon, through the house of creation, through Mars Electric Company, and the gateway. 3 and 5 is the reverse of 4 and 2. That's the beta house cat. That's the divided house. One of the reasons is because the 6 and 8 is that divided house. 2 cubes, 3 and 4, DC divides the house. Now, like I said before, if we're going to divide the house, hold on a second. Um, 1, 8, 6, 3, 2, 7, 5, 4. I think we got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there is no 9, right? So if there's no 9, we can use the numeric value for using the house of Chaldean, because that only goes to 8. They all total 9. So if they all total 9, now we can go over to our alphabet. But I know that now when we count only up to 7, I have to understand that I'm not counting the 8 because the 1 is living over here within 7. But that's Nyrishkeit. So just let me finish with this. So when we have this, these are the voids. So if I'm going to make 1 and 6 7, we're going to have 1 and 6 is going to be equivalent to what is 3 and 8. 11 equals to 7 and 7. If we're going to have 5 and 2 equal to 7, we're going to have 4 and 4 and 7 equals to 11. So with 2 is 7, with 5 and 4. So we're talking about 6 and 12. We're talking about this equation also that comes into the effect. And the last equation is going to be what is 3 and 4 dot 7 to what is 6 and 5 dot is 11. And all these equations now start to come together. And this is your 6 and 8. So if we're going to go into 6 and 8, we're going to have what is 1 and 5, 6 to what is 6 and 2, 8 to what is 3 and 5, 8 to what is 4 and 2, 6 to what is 3 and 3, 6 to what is 4 and 4, 8. So now there's these 3 equations over here. So now in each of these equations, you're going to be coming up with 8, 4, 3, 7, 6, 4, 5, 7. This one is the moon, the gate in the moon, the cat, the gate, the moon again. This one over here will be 6, 6, and this one over here will be 5, 5. So the Freedom Pass right over here. They used to say on TV back in my time that the Freedom 55, life insurance or something. So when you say the word freedom, it's 66. 66 is for women, therefore based on the moon. So something comes free from the moon at the 55 marker. And I'm not sure if we get that spam anywhere else. So let me go up. Donaldson. Now I'm going to have to. I have to look at. I'm going to have to go here. Just give me a second. I'm going to have to go on Facebook and look because it doesn't show anything. Just give me a second here. I got too many pages open. You know what? One of my favorite pages to have open. You know what it is? Whoop! I'm just trying to. Is this page over here? You know, sometimes when I'm a little bored. Whoop! Not that one. Just let me take that out of here. This one over here. Whoop! Hold on. like that. I just, there's a clear sky. It's bright here. It's gloomy. It's dark outside. I'm all alone, just using my mind, going a little batty. It's draining to do this. I feel like I'm speaking to people, and and you know, I feel like I'm speaking to people when I'm here. Maybe no, I mean, I'm talking to myself. So, and they're really coming at me tonight, eh? I'm not sure if anybody can see it, but they're putting a lot of spam up, a ton of spam. It just doesn't stop. Block user. I mean, it's funny that YouTube, right? YouTube, I should just block. You know what? You know what I'm going to start to do? I'm going to start putting questions up somewhere else. You'll have to email me. So it says an error occurred. So I'm going to have to go over to my Facebook, not my Facebook, whatever the social media page. Just give me a second. Um, just give me a minute. And you know what? I hide everything, and they're just still letting it come out. I'm just trying to understand where my stream is. Okay. Because you know what, when the stuff, I don't mind if it goes up. I don't care about it, but I can't see, right? So let me read over here. Okay, I have to go back over to Facebook, right? Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. What's going on here? Give me a second. Oh, it's 32 minutes. Tesla Vortex Math. Vortex Math. Okay, so I'd have to write that word down. So I know it's big right away because anything that has the word text in it is going to be big. I know it's got the word ETEX coming together. Okay. I know it's got something to do with being both first and last. I know the V, unlike the A that has a bar inside of it. Not really. I can't get into that piece right now. But earlier on, this, okay, looks like 2 exclamation points, right? Found on number 1. But actually what it is there's a distortion inside of this. And the distortion is here. You see it's 1 heart. But because the other heart went over it, you thought that this piece had something to do with this piece, but it doesn't. There's 2 individual pieces. So the top part, the W, is going to include both sides of 1 heart, a split heart. And the bottom side is going to include what is the V. Now, what does it say? It talks about a passage. The reason for that, V is the 22nd letter, number 1. Number 2, the angle, 45-degree angles. Number 3, the major part of what it is that it creates the letters V and W equaling to 22 and 23 equaling to 45, and the word is fox. I use fox pass. In wartime, they had a foxhole. I call it the fox pass. 55 electric company passes through this area over here. Volkswagen, V and W for Volkswagen. It is also number 4 and 3, the divided house. No, sorry, 5 and 4. Part of the sun, the IT system in the sun. Again, electrical for me. Another thing is that in one of the numeric numbers, it becomes 66. And that's the passage for 8, the heavens, for 80, the mathematics that do it. And what 66 does, it'll create 36 and 12 equaling to 84. I'm not going to get into what 7 times 12 equals to 84. Okay. And then when we go back to our 7 hours and 12 minutes, we've just found another piece of the action of where 66 creates both the 12 tribes and the 360 degrees, or the 12 tribes. I don't know. I'm not going to make anything up, so I'm going to stop a little bit tired. It's just, boy, an hour and 45 minutes. Let me read that question. Why Mayan calendar seemed ended at the year 2012? I have to think of the equation. First of all, was it something they calculated or something they read? Because when you're looking into the mirror, 2012 becomes 2021. When you're looking into the mirror, 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 equals to 2 and 1, 1 and 2. The beginning and the end, 12, 21. 1 for 1. The moon tells us the eye, when you see an eye and one is up and the camera is down, the inverse. I believe that being born through this moon somehow and through the zodiac pinball machine, right? That some of our connections of who we are as male and female, not the body, but what we were born, we were, how can I say it? We're part of both sexes, all of us. It works inside of us. It's how we think. We have to have both of us, some more than others. Some maybe the body was at default and it didn't come in properly, or they had no choice to do this because of the pinball overload of the control through the zodiac of how to control the, I don't even know what the word is, but for me, that's what it's telling me, because of the numeric value for the moon, because of the colors. And the way it says the numeric value for man is 28, woman is 66, woman is 2 syllables, just putting all these things together and just knowing that we all have to be caring. So that's no sex. You don't have to have any sex to be caring. So now if you see all over the place, they're showing a lot of this coming on, because they have to sort of make in order for the octopus to pass through something, to contort, so the mind goes back to what it needs to open or close the last gear. All about the gears. It's something way beyond thought of what needs to be done in order to open up the gear. But it's beyond thought. But it's not beyond thought to a programmer, to somebody who programs information. You press on a calculator and the calculator gives you the information. Oh my God, how did it do that? The same thing is going on here. We're in control. Just take right now, I'm in control. Look, I'm patting the cat. I'm in control. To that minute thought of how our thoughts have to go, individuality, staying alone, thinking for yourself, gaining all those stats to open up and trap us in the last door. For me, in this book that I am writing, in the book, we are all in the house of Earth, split up individually through the windows of Venus, in which the conjunction mirror is noted to be Mars. There are 4 areas broken up into the pound that we live. I like to call them Mars 1, Mars 2, Mars 3, and Mars 4. Mars windows. I want to think that I'm on Mars. I want to believe that Mars is here. And somehow, even if we're not on Mars, standing on it, and we're only standing on Earth because of the sand beneath our feet, where is it? Earth and Mars. Technically, you're right. The cat is having me pet it. Yes. The cat, Tesla. Nikola Tesla. You see these 2 sides? There's the cat in between the 2 sides. The electricity. What's in between the 2 sides? What's in between the 2 sides? East, west. What is this doing? The pig is different. The pig's got a flat nose. So the ears and then the flat nose of the pig. But the human is like the jack. It goes down. Wow. Yeah. So I'm basically coming to the end of this. I think I can go on. Let me see where I was. We were going over the timing. I'd have to look back where we were with the timing. We were at the, I'd have to multiply. I don't know if you want me to go back to the timing of the seconds of how we have the, what is the actual end time? Because I started, for those who have been here, for the few who have been here following to this point, I started with the hours in the day to the 1,440 minutes in a day. So I took the minutes and the hours and I moved it over to the seconds. And I found out that there's 432 minutes, which is 7 hours and 12 minutes, which is 7 by 12, 84. 84 is the numeric value for Pluto, in which is the actual hard cycle for our moon, which is 3 by 28, which is the 3 by 28 equaling to 84, or 3 moons, which actually takes 4 cubes in order to create those 3 moons, which is 84 dots, 21 times 4 equaling to 84, or let's go 7 times 12 equaling to 84 inches, which is now 7 feet tall. Nibiru. So what we're going to do is, it's not just done that way, because around the cube is going to be 14 dots. And up and down is going to be 7 dots. Although the answer to this is 20. The answer to that one over there is 18. So this is 6 up and this is 4 up. Create your gold 38. Where do I get these numbers from? Around 7, 6, 2, 1, 14. Oh, look, number 5. Got number 5. That means we got 19. 4, 6, 3, and 1 is 14, and 5 is 19. Because what do we have? 2 down there, 19 and 2, 21. That's what's going on with these dice. There's a lot of stories going on with these dice. So what we're going to have is 14 and 7 between up and down. So we're going to call this the ring. The numeric value for ring is 48. And this we're going to call the pole, right? And the pole is going to be number 48. And what's funny is this is 2/3 7, and this is 1/3 7. And one of the sports that does that, right, is hockey or baseball. broken up into 3 innings. But this inning over here doesn't always end up that way. It ends up to be 2.5, and that would be Earth. Telling me Earth is the home team. Number 41, 52. And the reason for that is because if the home team is leading into the ninth, they don't have to play the bottom of the ninth, leaving the game at 8.5 innings, and that's a silver matrix. 13 and 40 equals 53, electric company. Any craps. So now we have 2/3 and 1/3 because this is 2 sevens, this is 1 7. So we're going to go 14 and 7 equals to 21. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go 7 and 14 because this will complete our first cycle of the moon, and this will complete 1 cube of 21 dots, and this is going to complete 2 cubes of 21 dots, 1 cube and 2 cubes. But now we have 14 left over. So in order to get that, we must start with a number 14. If we start with a number 14 and then a 7, we're going to have 28. And here is the end of our second moon. And then we're going to have 7 left over. So we're going to take the third cube. Okay. Did I hold on a second? 1 cube, 2 cubes. Oh, this is the third cube. So now we're going to take the fourth cube, and it doesn't matter whether you start with 14 or 7 because the end result will be the 28 days complete cycle. So in the last one, so when we're doing this, I can go adding up to a single digit. It'll be 5, 7, 7 to complete the 28 days. The second one is going to be 5, 5 to complete the 28 days. And the last one will either be 7, 7, 7, sorry, it'll be 7, 7, 5, or it'll be 7, 5, 7 to complete the last days. And when you see 28, what are you seeing over here? You're seeing here 19, and you're seeing over here 19. In rotas sator arpo tenant, okay, these numbers come out all the time. 19, 9, 28, 19, 9, 28. And it also talks about, I did that. Yeah, right over here. 555, 5555, 9 and 7, birth at the gateway, rotas sator. 5 times 5 by 5, 125 by 125. What does that work out to be? 1875. Anyways, I don't want to get into too many more numbers. I'm tired. I don't even know where we are. Okay. So what this is where I got this from is I just added. Now, if I multiply this, and not only that, but 147 is the way we run our cycle. We run 7 months of 31 days, 4 months of 30 days, and the month of February. The 3-3-3-3-3-3 is our Christ formation, and here's our separation by 1-1-1-1, 11-11, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, all missing by ones. But the in-between worlds of all these are 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, and 1.5 because that's the separation of Mars. Mars is the void. And what's filled in the void? Everything we think is filled in the void, telling me that our conscious spirit is coming from Mars, living within. We don't have to go. It's already here. This also in gematria, right, is 575. And this has to do with the moon hour in the house of DC. I'm just taking away the abbreviation. 5775. There were 13 moons. 75 by 75. I just want to do something. Yeah. 77 times 75. So the matter and the Christ and the moon in the house of DC. The queen, this and this equals to 75 times 75. 75 plus 75 equals to 5775 times 13 equals to 75,075. 7 and 5, 12, 7 and 5, 12, 7 and 5, 12. All has to do with the moon of DC. Now the mathematics becomes 35 and 12 equaling to 47, the numeric value for time. Ask me, I'll tell you, where do we get this from? It's very simple. 12 will create 5 and 13 will create 7. The male and the female, before they become, they must complete the 12 years and the 13 years to have the bar and to have the bat. Whereat are the angels? 3 and 4, the house of DC. It all comes back to the same thing over and over and over. Anyways, we're done for the night. Yeah, we're done for the night. DT has many 66 and 22. I don't know, but if you have any links, I prefer send it to my email or something. Sometimes I don't get to see everything. Big headache. Beautiful colors. Beautiful colors. When I put pressure on my eyes and I look deep within inside myself, beautiful colors. You know what I'd like to do? And I can do it. I have the choice. I have the choice. Lately, I've been sitting in front of my computer very, very too often. I'm not getting outside the house enough. I have to go for more walks. Breathe the air. It's very stagnant inside the house. Not good to continue working all the time. Part of the Army Stripe setup. Part of the, this is the, this comes from the 6 and 9 design that I keep designing. Anyways, oh well, here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try my other email, although I don't go there often. I'm going to give you both of them. I'm afraid I really didn't want my other email. I have an email that I really like, but I'm not getting any spam in it yet. So I don't know if I want to. Yeah, maybe I'll give it to you because I like it, but maybe I won't. But I don't know. But here, take this one here. Here, you got this one here, right here, right there. So before I had Mr. Tack Pans, I had Tack Pans, and backwards. So it backwards. This is what it is, right? Snapcat. It was, and in French, it's like Snapchat. So where did I get it from? Snap because of turtles. There was a point somewhere back when I went into a lake and I heard somebody got snapped by a turtle, and I don't know, something about cats. Just I don't know. And then it turns out that it's pans, and it's a very highly touted part of some web pages. When you want to go buy a web page or something, they seem to charge you more when that's at the end. It was a powerful night where if you listen to the beginning of the video, I was ready to shut down when nobody was here. It was a little depressing. There's power in live versus the upload, right? Versus the upload. Another word we're learning to accept. And TV's on a stream, by the way. There is no real direct TV. If you notice that when the game happens, you don't see the TV for seconds after. It's not an instant. Is that because it's not an instant? Like me and you were not an instant. If I go to YouTube, I'll see myself a little bit later. If I go to Odyssey, I'll see later. So everything is running like a couple of seconds behind. Is that on purpose? But anyways, I want to thank StreamYard for letting me use their service. I shouldn't say it that way. I like that I bought the service from StreamYard. That's what I'm using right now, and I'm able to put it out to 3 or 4 or 5 places at the same time, because some of the internet streamers or media seem to be what seems like blocking my channel, because it's not possible that I can get 500 views on one site and 12 on YouTube. It just doesn't make any sense. And anyways, I only have very few followers. There's about, I don't know, 40 or 50 on Odyssey, maybe 2 or 3 on Rumble, Facebook. Thank you for being here, Leo the scientist, the open mind. The outside air is cool and fresh this time of the year. It absolutely is. Where are you from? Yes, I'd like to jump on a plane somewhere and just fly somewhere for a month or two and just write and pick up the good vibration and meditate and regain some strength. It's been a powerful last couple of years, when we're coming to the grand end of the largest journey that humankind has ever been on, and we are here witnessing it. Actually, we've been witnessing a lot of it, but this is what we're witnessing now. For me, is way different, because it is. You like my hat? Wow. Look at that. I'm just trying to see. You know, when I look at that word, it tells me about a beaver tail inside that word. Before the Christ, number 13. Wow, that's like 133, because that B is actually made up by 2 halves of an 8, and there's D's inside the B. There's a whole bunch of stories you can talk about with the B. The way it's written, right? The way it's written, it almost had to be designed. I'm just trying to look that the B, you have this right inside of it, but it's a half area, so it's almost like it was used in half over here, right? Because the areas are smaller, and you had this half here and this half over here, creating that B. And because of these 2 points, let me draw it a little bit bigger. I'll explain it. When you create 2 X's, you can break the area up in each one, but you cannot connect unless you create a second X, making the creation. So now I'm going to draw it a little bit larger. Okay, I'm going to use this to be 1 box, right? So when we create our X, we create our X here and our X here. So then we use this area over here for the inside of the B. And then we use the other area for the inside of the B. Now we split that apart, because inside of it, right, when we created the X's, it created this formation over here. So now I'm just going to use this formation over here. And in using that formation, I'm now allowed to do this. So since I did that and that, this is how I come out with that linear B with that D inside of it. I absolutely, totally agree with you. After 18 and 19 years, I just keep repeating to myself the same thing. I don't need everybody, only those who choose and want, who need what the page has to offer. That's all it is. It's not about quantity. It should be more about quality. And I knew I was in it for the long haul. And I know I can't know the science until the science is learned. And I'm learning and sharing the science over 18 years, and I'm learning more and more all the time. Not that I remember everything all the time, and not that I don't repeat myself, because you have to repeat yourself. I mean, it's like testing a car. Once you smash the car, you got to throw it out and put another one in. You start over again. But I saw that crash already. No, you didn't, because the continuation went somewhere else. So there's so much, and it breaks, everything breaks down. And by the way, the word love, evil love, the word love, the word breath, and the word son are all numeric value 54, 3 by 18, the Third Reich. It's the Third Reich, 22, 18 and 4, 22, and the Third Reich. Why? Because the Resh, the letter R in Hebrew, which actually is valued at 20, equals to 60, and 3 by 18 equals to 54. That is the IT system born into the sun in the half-life. I'm not going to do all the math right now. But what's ironic is that these two letters, L, the reverse of these two letters are OV, love. And then love a lot of times is spoken with this. But in all actuality, it's this. And even in energy and everything else that comes into formation, it's this. See, this is the Sophie of frequencies, but we're not going to put everything together. We're going to use two sets. All three sets coming together, okay, is just going to give you that altered equalization of distortion. See the way the point comes through these two, the bow tie, point comes through the bow tie. So this 285 is counting for what is here. And this, anyways, this gets divided up. There's this, there's 5184. The cycle of the moon, the 3 cycles of the moon, or how about 17 and 28? 7 times 4, 7 plus 4 equals 28 minus 11, 17. Mars and Pluto, 51 is Mars and 84 is Pluto. Or how we can divide up numbers. 9 and 5, 14, 8 and 6, 14, 7 and 7, 14, 6 and 8, 14. So yeah, there was one other thing I wanted to do before I wanted to finish this off. The thing about 6 and 8, it's just so long. Let me see this thing on 6 and 8. I can't let it go. Yeah, 6 and 8. So what we did is when we have 1 and 5, 6, we have 8 and 4 void, so we have 12. So let me do it again with something that looks clean. So 1 and 5, to where you will have 8 and 4, 6 and 12, to where we're going to have reverse 6 and 2 equaling to 8, to where we're going to have 3 and 7 equaling to 10, to where we are going to have 2 and 4 equaling to 6, 2 and 4 equaling to 6, 7 and 5 equaling to 12, to where the invert of what 2 and that is 5 and 3 equaling to 8, because 6 and 8 are the inverts of each other on the cubes. 5 and 3, I turn it over, I'm going to get 4 and 2. And the voided space, according to 1, 2, 3, 3, 3 divided, there's 3, 3 divided in that. 303, if you want to look at it that way. So we get this, and over here we're going to get 4, right, and 6 equaling to 10. Did we do them all? Oh, and then we're going to do 3 and 3 equaling to 6, to where we have 6 and 6 equaling to 12, to where we have 4 and 4 equaling to 8, to where we have 5 and 5 equaling to 10. So do you notice that it's 10, 12, 10, 12? So the totals of 6, the total of 6, this is A, B, B, C, C, because there's only 3 sides reverse. Again, hockey, 3 periods of 20 minutes, but we won't get into that. Hockey broken up into the thirds, right? All about threes with an intermission of 2 15-minute intermission and the 20-minute period times 2, and this one is times 3. This one will be pool, and this one will be darts. This one will be 120, and this one will be 210, 1221. If you want to know why, is because when you add 1 to 15, it equals to 120. When you add 1 to 20, it equals to 210. If you want, we can go to the 8th frame. Is that what it is in bowling? There'd be 90 missing, so the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th is not counted yet. So actually, we've made it to the 7th frame. Sorry about that. We're in the 7th frame. The 7th frame. If you don't count the 8 and 9, we have a total of 210 that will show up over here. And then the 8, 9, and 10th will be 90. But if we had to stop everything by the 7th frame, I just have to do this equation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 170, 180. So we get to 180 degrees over here. Here we'll get to 300. Why? Because in bowling, you count 3 and you put it in the first box. 3, you put it in that box. 3, and every 4th one, again, another one. The 4th one does not count in the first one. Just like 1, 4, 7, 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. So we start over again on the 4th one. Another rule of DC. So now we've done this over here. So this will be 6 and 3 to 8 and 1 to 6 and 3 to 8 and 1 to 6 and 3 to 8 and 1. And that's just what it is. So that's the rule for what is 6 and 8. So now I'm just going to continue on just a little bit here, because once I'm in it, right? Let me see. Luxor Temple. It's obvious that if it can be written out, then it can be done. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to write it. CHIP. Okay, so now we're going to go on to, let's go on to something else. In the game of creation, they like to use 1 and 2. So if we use 1 and 2, 3, okay, the voids will be 8 and 7. The thing is, right, there is no other like this. There is no other like this. This is the only one. And it only happens, and by the way, it becomes GH for the heavens of Mars creation, the ace sun. That's a basic word that comes from this. It's also the alphabet. When you add up 1 through 26, it equals to 351. Ace is the first, third, and fifth letter. Mars actually is number 51, but at 15 times 4, or the intermission, we walk into the get a hot dog, a Coke, a Pepsi. I'm just saying it like that because of the 15-minute period intermission. And how long is the intermission in football? and basketball, or boxing, or soccer, whatever it is, doesn't matter. So there's only one in this formation over here. So the answer is straight out. This creates 3 and 6. The mathematics of this one will create 6 and 5, 365. So the next one is going to be 2 and 2 equals to what is 4. The reverse is 7 and 7 equals to 14. Is there a reverse of this one? Oh, I'm sorry. There is a reverse of this one. I shouldn't have done it. I just meant there's no other. Let me finish with this one. I'll go back to this one. So this one is going to be 5 and 5 equals to 10, which is going to be 4 and 4 equals to 8. Hold on a second. Okay, that's right. Now, this one over here, right, the reverse of 1 and 2 is 6 and 5 equals to 11, to what is 3 and 4 equals to what is 7. So the reverse of what is 7 come 11 is 3 and 15. So that's the reverse. This one is in the gate of creation. And this is your creation. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is what will create 1 and 2, 3. And it comes through the gateways of Mars. This is 77 and 18. So it's the matter, and it comes from Neptune in the spirit of 76 in the EIEIO world. Those are the letters 45 and 14 through the IT system in the sun. It recreates these letters, and then it does that. You know, like an Einstein. So that's that one. So this one will create 3, 6, 4, 5. That says love. 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 1 and 2 just to begin with. E is the 5th letter. V is the 22nd letter. 2 and 2 is 4. O is the 15th letter. 1 and 5 is 6. L is the 12th letter. 1 and 2 is 3. AEIOUOIE. A. Yes. 12, 12, 5, 5. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, 3 and 2, 5. So broken up with in between. And that'll say that'll say L, but you can also look at it as Allah. She Allah. The L, Allah. And I also like to look at it like that. Only because of expression. When you say when you do that, it sounds like the Y. So I just use it that way. So we did this. The next one is going to be here. We did 7. Where are we going? Oh yes, let's do another number. Let's do 5. Let's do 5. So 1 and 4 equals to 5, where the reverse is 8 and 5 equals to 13. So look where the sun shows up. The ace sun shows up right here. Silver Spirit Matrix Home. Okay, the IT system will show up right over here. And we know it's orange because if you go to the game of pool, the 5 ball is a solid. So there's a name going along with the 5, and the 13 is a stripe. So now there's numbers going with this, and both of them start with S or a number 5. So here's your first one. Your second one you're going to get to, or the reverse. Should I go? No, we'll do the reverse right away, which is 6 and 3 equals to 9, to what is 3 and 6 equals to 9. Wow. Jupiter, the sun, 13. I'm just trying to think. Freedom and area space. Where did I get that from? I have to explain it. Yes, in the word 13. Here is 55. This is 44. So you get your freedom 55, your electric company, your area space. This represents 2 letters. Everything for me that represents 2 letters represents the breath, represents the sun, also represents all 2-letter words. This is a perfect, perfect word because of the 360 degrees, which is a base cycle equaling to 18 and 9, equaling to those 2 letters reverse. It's the only one that does that. The TH is time heaven, so it begins where if I had to put a number here, the first number would be 4th, the last number would be 20th. That's where TH begins. First, ST. So in this, we get stand. So if we're going to stand, we have to stand on 17. On is a division. 15 and 14, 6 and 5. It becomes a division. I'm not going to explain it right now. In the gate, it ends with ND. So now if we have standard, it comes like this, and then standard ends with RD, and that's for third. So if we add on to where fourth comes in and everything starts over, it becomes standard death. So anyways, we did this, we did the reverse. The next one that comes into 5 is going to be 3 and 2 equals to 5, where 6 and 7 equals to 13. And again, I get the same number back to the sun. And 2 and 3 fit inside 1 and 4. The next one is going to be what is, I had to do 5, right? So the next one is going to be 4 and 7. No, mistake. It's going to be 4 and 5 equals to 9, to where 3 and 2 equals to 9. So we can see what's happening here. It becomes 5, 4, 9, 9, 5, 4, 9, 9. And that's basically what happens with your numbers. I mean, we have 4 and we have 5, meaning if I flip them over, it's going to be 3 and 2. So if I flip this over, I have 7 and 6. I have 13. So all these 13s, depending on which, I mean, I can, wherever the 13 is found, whatever it is, 1 times 6, 1 plus 6, 7 and 6, 13. It represents Earth and Mars as well. So not only does it represent the ace sun, it also represents Earth and Mars, and it's a divided sun. The letter A is a division of the heavens and the spirit. When you do the artwork, I'm tired. It's over 2 hours I'm here, so I'm sorry. I just I'm trying to deliver the message, the word, this I'm delivering, I'm doing, it is what it is. I'm tired. I have to stop. I want to thank everybody for being here. Leo, it just, when it flows, it flows. When I start sequencing and putting things, when I'm putting things together that have already been created, whatever I do is found somewhere. Even the equations. If you want to play crazy eights and the basic rules, if you want to play blackjack or roulette. I mean, I'm not sure if anybody's ever seen the roulette board and what it shows on it. I haven't completed it yet, but there's many things of how the roulette board was actually set up numerically. So it doesn't matter if you have a car with a transmission that you have to put oil in, rack and pinion steering, Mack trucks, Bulldog, upside down springs, not like any other truck, and Chrysler, the only two. So right away, I think of Jesus Christ, Mack trucks and Chryslers. And all the oddball and the left. Then we have to go the right and the left, and look what I can't and I could do. It's easy for me to extend. My greatest distance is this, but this is not. So if I was going to look at the small arm on the letter F, I'm going to have to say I put my arm across my body. Although my arm, and I created the letter L. So it's almost like the letter L went into across the body. And I only need to have stick because I'm stick man. When we learn to draw, we draw with sticks. So although my arm looks more like a stick than this, maybe we'll call it 0, 1 in reference to what it might be. Because really here, my backbone is in the back, my sternum can be split between my ribs. But actually it stems out from here, right? It stems out from here and the ribs come around. The ribs come, anyways, not going to get into doctor stuff. So every medical condition that's out there has a word, and every word has a value and a meaning to it. So therefore, and numbers. So therefore, the elements can be built from the word. Unless it was man-made, you'd have to unconstruct the contortion that man has made to make things that he can't fix. And besides that, when you take F and you take F and then you flip it upside down, right? Right? You end up like doing that. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Anyways, Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Send me energy. I can use it. I need peace. I need tranquility. I need to get away from the. I don't mind the cold, but I need to get away somewhere else. Somewhere I just want to go somewhere else. Just wake up in the morning one day, write a little bit, relax, meditate, bring in more. You know, it's been the last 3.5 years that have been the most powerful. Before I end it, just do this. 1, 2, 3, ABC. The numeric value for time created by the moon is 47, which is also energy in Jesus Christ, okay, equals to a total of 5781, which is the year that everything stopped, 2021, from Hebrew time. And just note that 4 cycles, that when we repeat cycles, the year 2000 in Hebrew time was 5760, which was 4 times 1440 minutes. But I don't want to get into that right now. I just want to find a group, go out and meditate. Someone that's very, very highly, that really believes that can take me to another level, because I believe I can see it inside of me. When I close my eyes, it doesn't get smaller, it gets larger. When I close my eyes, for many, it gets dark. For me, sometimes it gets too bright. Thank you for watching. Peace and love. Share the video. I think it was one of my better ones. Thank you.